Hello, this is PDG ma'am, and today we will be discussing about the various changes that will happen or that has already occurred in your question paper, and which you will see when you finally give your exam in 2019. So actually, we are talking about the changes that has been brought into the question pattern or there has been certain changes. I'm not talking about the syllabus out here because syllabus remains the same. What was there in last year is still followed, so there has not been any much changes with the syllabus or with the projects or anything of that sort. But if you go into the question pattern or if you go into studying the sample question paper, then you will see that number of options questions has been added, so which is a very good thing for you all because you're getting more of options now. So the chances of scoring high is the chances of scoring better is higher, because maybe you don't know this answer but you know the answer of that question. Now that is the positive side of the question paper, but everything will have its own advantages and disadvantages. So when we talk about options, when you get options, it's always good because you have more things to choose from. But the difficult part is that you have to remember that your time remains the same, so it's still 3 hours. So last year it was 24 questions, there were no options in that, so all 24 questions were absolutely compulsory and you had to answer each. So there was no question of choosing like I need to answer this or I need to go for that. But now the time remains the same, that is, it's still 3 hours and plus 15 minutes that you have as your reading time. So your writing time is 3 hours, and in that you don't just have 24 questions, you have nearly about 35 questions. So now you have to pick and choose, and that is where your intellect, your intelligence, and your decision making power will come into play. So that's the difficult part of it. So if time management is not done properly, then you lose out your time and you might choose a question which actually you shouldn't have taken up because you could have answered the other one better. But you will not get so much time to experiment, like let me start writing this, okay, I'm not comfortable with this, so let me just stop it here and go on to the next question. That won't be a very intelligent thing to do. So you have to be very, very careful about which question you're picking up and why you are picking it up, and whether you can actually answer all the parts of this question, because your questions will have different parts. Even though it doesn't look like a, you know, question which has parts, but when you read the question properly, you will understand that there are phases in it. I'm not talking about all questions, I'm talking about a few, especially the ones which are there in your maybe 6 marks or 4 marks. It's mostly analytical type, many of those. So you have to apply your intelligence there. So these are certain things which we will be discussing.